in trying to argue the case for women to have the vote and achieving that in her lifetime. And hopefully today what we're going to hear is about actually how you achieve change, and change for the better in terms of engagement in the voting process, the electoral process, but also for women at work and in the broader society. It's really important to understand that actually the changes that have happened over the past 100 years, the improvements that have come in society as a result of participating in the democratic process, as the ability to vote, are things that have been hard fought for and hard won. So actually, much of those changes that have benefited women in work in terms of the Equal Pay Act, in sex discrimination legislation, victimisation and harassment laws, all of those things have happened because of people like Julia, who articulated their views, who fought for what they believed in was right. It's more important also to understand the local link with Julia as a person who came to Birmingham, who came to work in Cadbury's, and I understand we've got 2 reps from Cadbury's here today, and also their branch has made a donation towards the event, which is very, very welcome indeed. It's important to understand the context of what Julia was achieving or trying to achieve at the turn of the last century, and what we need to achieve at the turn of this century. Because although we've made progress, although there's been improvements, although we've seen change, we all know in this room that it's not enough. There is still more that needs to be done. And until there is genuine equal pay, until the pay gap has been eradicated, until actually we see the boardrooms and the House of Commons more reflective of the, that gone off now, has it? More reflective of the world of work and our community at large, until that happens, we know that actually society hasn't really changed and become the equal opportunity society that many of us want to see in this room. But let us not also forget that while we've made huge steps forward, in an international context, on International Women's Day, there are women around the world that have nowhere near the level of rights that they should enjoy, that don't have access to education, that don't have the vote, that are not having equal access to healthcare and other things that you would expect in civil society, and in other parts of the world where FGM is still a real issue and needs to be addressed. And campaigning internationally is a fundamental part of what we do as a trade union and why we are supporting International Women's Day and the event that we're involved in this morning. So I'm really pleased to be opening this celebration of Julia's life. I know it's going to be a fantastic day in terms of some of the presentations and the involvement that we've had from the schools involved. I really do think that actually congratulations also should go to the Women's Committee of the West Midlands Unite, because it was their inspiration, their thoughts and their involvement that has driven this through, along with Leslie Stevenson from the Education Department. And congratulations to Leslie in terms of pulling all of this together as a member of the Unite Learn team. She's done a fantastic job on it. So with those few opening remarks, I'm now going to hand back to the chair and wish you all a successful day.
I'd like to hand you over now to Mark Metcalf, who actually wrote the little booklet that you've got.
Okay.